to join the BCC.
And
whoa.
J-Mo
Okay.
wants to join the BBC, but he had to do it
All
the
of 'em.
hard way.
Whoa.
Harlan and Juicy J was like, "Let me talk to you."
Juicy J. Yo, no.
Harlan's friends with Juicy J.
Yeah.
Harlan's friends with all the rappers. I don't understand it, but I love it.
It's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
There's a few other things I think because we're just jumping around here.
Yeah.
We're just having a good bro down. It's been a while since we've all been.
We
connected
haven't broed
together,
out in
so,
a while.
I would say from this week of, AEW, since we were already there, we kind of mentioned that Super Card of Honor, whatever, ultimate explosion of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Tokyo Drift Part 17 pay-per-view. But outside of that, I did want to talk about something that's important to me with AEW. One of the biggest things that came up was two things. One thing that came up in the group chat that we'll get to. But first, I wanted to talk about all these goddamn belts. I don't know who's champion of anything. Somebody just walked in, and here is the Costco Cup champion of the world. What is this? The Toshiba T-shirt TV champion. Like, where are these belts coming? It's like AAA, it's NWA, it's ROH, it's BBC, it's
Also, I
B-
heard rumor
BBD.
I heard
the Bell
rumor
Biv
of a
DeVoe
6-man
champion.
tag team title coming to AEW.
Oh, that's
6-man
coming.
tag?
They're
Yeah.
bringing
Are you
trios titles.
fucking serious? That's
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
That was an ROH special.
We can't even get tag divisions in most of these promotions. So what makes you think you gonna just start a 3-man tag division?
Well, every other promotion actually respects tag team wrestling, but Vince, he's like, fuck that. Let's just put two random ass people together and watch them wait till they break it. Yeah, and he's just waiting for it. Everyone else actually loves their chat. That's what they were saying. The rumor has it that Vince is now eyeing FTR for return. I'm like, for what? So y'all can be fucking going against the Viking Raiders and Ninjas? Why are we doing this?
That did
Like,
happen.
don't go back. I know the money's good, but she's y'all have 8 belts right now. I don't even know what belts y'all got. They got Gucci belts.
They got the Ring of Honor tag
belts,
titles and the
ROH
AAA tag
belts.
titles.
They got the Luchador belts. I don't even
$1
know
million
what the hell they got.
belt as well in there too. I think I
Every
saw.
belt there is, they have it for tag teams. And you're telling me that Vince comes a calling, number one, y'all couldn't stay healthy in the WWE system because they just work y'all non-stop. Like, hey, we're going house show to house show. Then we're going back on TV. Then we're going to have you do some goofy shit. We rarely going to have y'all wrestle. So when you do, you're probably going to wrestle somebody that's green or not, in working shape. And then you get Big E. And your neck snapped or some shit. So I was like, I don't think that's a great move for them. But back to what I was saying with all the belts. Do y'all like all the numerous belts? Because it's 5,000 champions, and I really only care about maybe 3, and one of them ain't the AEW champion.
So yeah, I think you're blowing it up a little too much because FTR has so many belts because then they're a tag team. But really, there's the AEW belts and then there's the Ring of Honor belts, and those are the only ones you really see. So you got on the men's side, you got the AEW title championship, was it TNT championship, and then
TBS.
I'm just talking about the men's side, JMO.
Oh, sorry.
And
then
those TNT.
And then if you bring in the Ring of Honor title, you got the Pure title
no,
the TV title.
No, stop. Continue with the AEW belts first. You just cut off at those two. It's the TNT. It's the main belt.
Yeah.
Then you have the tag belt.
Yeah.
And then you have the TBS belt. And
I was just talking about the men's side. I'm just talking about the men's side right now.
No, I'm talking about all these belts. It's literally, legitimately
Okay, all right. So then after all those men's belts, you got the TBS and you got the women's world title.
Yes, and then you have the pure weight, whatever.
I named that.
I don't weigh that much belt. Then you got the ROH belt held by the Octopus Man. Love that shit.
Yeah.
Jack Stacked. I love him. He's awesome. Jonathan Grisham. Then you got Samoa Joe's belt, whatever belt that
TV
is.
title.
TV
TV title.
Sure, I don't know what it's called. It's just another belt.
That him and Slap Dude got into a slap off against.
Yeah. Slap ass.
Slap ass.
They're just having fun. But all these belts, like, okay, maybe it's just me. Anybody else y'all don't have a problem with all these belts? Like 42,000 titles?
I'm a big fan of the ROH Pure title. I like that. That's a cool concept. I like
What
those
is it?
matches.
What's the concept? Maybe I don't know enough about
It's
it.
like the cruiserweight title, right?
No,
No, it's
like
it's
an
like
actual
a
wrestling.
Matt wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
J-Mo, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Matt wrestling only 2 rope breaks, 3 rope breaks
No,
for
2 rope breaks.
submissions.
what is
3
this?
rounds.
Amateur wrestling?
Oh, Pure Rules. Okay.
Yeah,
like
Pure
amateur
Rules.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I like the concept, but
Yeah.
it's like to separate the wrestlers versus and that's why I think the dope thing was Wheeler Yuta versus Moxley, because Moxley is clearly none of that shit.
Yeah.
So it was a fun move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that you don't need a belt for that. I'm the best wrestler belt. Wow.
When it comes to all the titles, though, it's just because of all the promotions. I think if you phase out a lot of these promotions from intertwining with each other and all this other shit, you get a lot less belts involved, and it becomes less ridiculous.
We've had the separation, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to shit on the collaboration or the co-collaboration, but I just don't know where it's going, because it feels like
either.
AEW just absorbed ROH. So now it's just like,
Which they did. They technically
yeah,
did.
but it's not a separate entity, and then maybe you come over there, and they're doing their own thing, but then sometimes people cross over. It's just like, oh, this shit just going.
I think
I
at
don't
some
think
point
they-
it will be a separate thing, but they got to get a TV deal and they got to get those guys back on the road and fill out that entire roster.
So that's why they
Yeah,
try to
and
keep
I don't think they
going
really
on.
know what that looks
Yeah.
like, honestly. In my
So
opinion.
as of right now, it's like, let's keep these belts on TV and the guys that we have on these ROH contracts with the belts. Let's make sure they're still traveling the world. But to your point, I think AEW is taking advantage of AAA, honestly, putting those belts on FTR, because they did the same thing with the AAA main belt, putting that shit on Kenny. And at one point, Kenny was supposed to drop that belt to Andrade, but AEW pulled a fast one and said, "Hey, we can't have our top guy losing to a guy that we're about to sign, even though it's for your belt that you're graciously letting us use." Exactly.
They're gonna lose twice, so they ain't want that to happen. No, I
Yeah.
get that.
They're
I
taking
get that.
full advantage of AAA. I mean, it makes their guy look strong, but it also, well, what the fuck are AAA guys tag teams down there doing? Nothing.
We don't know, because all we see is the title. We don't know anything else about AAA except the belts that they bring on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't tell you anything else about
Here's
them.
AAA, but what? The Energizer batteries? What the hell is this?
By the way, those AAA belts look like toy kid belts. Like you would make those.
Like
Yeah, I
the
was about
belts
to
they
say,
were selling.
definitely the kid
They were
replicas.
selling
Yeah.
those belts at WrestleMania for $250.
250.
People were
250.
looking at my belt like, did you get that from here? Hell
Two-
no.
You mean 250 pesos?
For real.
Yeah.
No, that's racist.
Hey, Dub,
No,
you
it's,
were mentioning
it's
about
not.
Dub. You
Just
were
means
mentioning
it's
about
cheap.
the ROH guys, but like, isn't Jonathan Grisham? Isn't he like a free agent? He just kind of works wherever, because he's popped up in Impact a couple times and worked Impact.
I think they've signed him, but the thing is, like, nobody on AEW is an exclusive thing. But what they weren't going to do is they weren't going to let him keep parading around with that belt and be a free agent.
Oh, okay.
Had they not signed him, they would have pulled that belt off of him. There's no way.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say they probably have him signed, and like maybe 5 or 6 other guys, but they need to fill out the rest of that roster. But then you also don't want to make it to where you just send the whole AEW Dark crew over there, because that just won't work.
And that's where they messed up at with AEW Dark. If they never created AEW Dark, that'd be the easiest thing for them to do.
Yep.
Easiest thing to do. They shot themselves in the foot with that terrible
wanted to get
show
them
that
YouTube
they put on.
views. Hey guys, watch our show on YouTube. No.
Is it
No.
BTE
Watching Roblox
enough?
And I'm watching Roblox videos. I'm watching car reviews. Like nobody's watching fucking wrestling on YouTube unless it's pirated content.
Booker
Nobody's
T
watching-
said it.
like,
Booker
give me
T
show
said Booker T was like, if I was leaving the big leagues in WWE and I came to AEW and they put me on Dark, I would feel like that's a demotion. He said that quote. All I could think about was Ruby. I was like, damn, that's a
As you
shot.
should.
Yeah, Ruby, 100%.
I
She
mean,
needs to do something.
It's not fair what they're doing to her, man.
what are
She
they
just
doing to
kind of
her?
taking it.
You
You
guys
said what?
tell me, because I don't feel the same way that y'all do. So let me know. I might be missing something. Again, I'm open to being changed. This whole episode, I'm open to change.
All
Wow.
right.
I'm
So
open.
for all the fanfare they gave Ruby on her way in, it feels like they just kind of discarded her after like the initial
She
like
got like a
ratings
CM Punk
bumper.
pop when she came out. It was like CM Punk.
Yeah, she should be the one chasing Jade right now.
Facts.
But
Give her something better.
it feels like they don't know what to do with Jade too. Like Marina Shafir is not beating Jade at all. Get the fuck out of here. Um, and then who's next up? Like, because the Ty Conti thing that was cute for a second, but no one buys Ty Conti seriously at all. And you could say the same thing about insert blonde white woman on AEW here, Anna Jay, the Bunny, Penelope Ford,
All
and
on the
like,
same
but you had this ready-made star, someone who could take that belt off of Jade at some point in a long chase, which they're really good at doing at the long-term booking, because at that point, then Jade's ready for the big belt. Because Jade can be the one to take that belt off of Thunder Rosa,
I see.
and it would get Thunder Rosa over more because Jade is a heel of heels, and then Thunder Rosa doesn't have to talk because God knows she can't do that either. But now Thunder
I'm
Rosa can't
disagreeing with
talk.
everything this man said.
Thunder Rosa cannot talk.
I,
Wrong.
But all right, I
She just got
digress.
smoked by Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose has gotten far better because she's just embraced like a little bit of quirkiness to her promos. Like when she got the cake smashed in her face and they beat her, she's like, "Bitch, you lucky. I like cake." I was like, "That shit's great." And it's like even on Twitter, she's a good follow on Twitter. 'Cause
She is.
she's funny, and I was like, so I think that's that inequity between the two. They like kind of let Nyla and Vicky Guerrero smoke her in that regard, but Thunder Rosa is not a bad talker at all, and I think it's just sometimes it happens like that. I don't think Jade's the best talker, but I think she's getting better, and I don't think she's the best wrestler at all. She's super green, but what they're doing with the baddie section, I feel like that is becoming a thing with her, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan. I think there's some dope shit around that, and she doesn't necessarily need the belt anymore because that can keep them relevant. So now they can just be a badass crew. This is pretty much what
toxic attraction.
no. It was what
Her business?
Brandy Rhodes wanted to get off with the Nightmare Collection or some shit, but it just didn't work.
No,
Oh
wasn't
man,
there.
why'd you have to bring her up?
AEW heels.
Ratings just just plummeted. You just had to bring up Randy.
You
Oh.
hate Randy.
Oh my god.
She has a black
Oh.
daughter. So.
I'd say this about. I'll say
Support
this,
black
man, about Ruby. I'm not gonna disagree with the stuff that Dub said, but I'm also not gonna agree with a lot of it either, because I'm just like I think that just Ruby just deserves more. Like, what did she do? Like, I feel like she's getting like Vince Doghouse status over there, man.
Well, let me
Like,
pose
she
this
can
to
be
you.
involved more in the main cards going on in the women's picture than she is now. That's all I'm saying.
So
More than
I-
what she's
I-
doing.
I think AEW is not necessarily Ruby. It's AEW's ability to like manage more than 3 women at one time. They just
But
don't
why
do a good
can't
job.
they? It's not like they don't have the people in the back that.
They've only been here for 3 years.
But
So-
that's not an excuse, man.
So
I
you're,
don't buy
you're
that.
putting the blame on
You
AEW
sound-
management as a whole and
Yeah.
booking of women, but it's just glaring with Ruby. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily. I think it's glaring with Ruby because we have faith in her that we don't really know the Penelope Fords or those other people like that. So we're just like, whatever. But
Yeah.
Ruby, you're like, we see it for her, and we seen the potential in the pop she got. So we're like, what's going on with that? But
And we know she
still
can
treating her
wrestle
like-
from
But
WWE.
they're treating her like she's just a normal AEW talent. So they're putting her through dark, and then they let her rise up because that's what they did with Swole. Then when Swole had something great that popped off, then they tried to bring her back up and reheat her. I think that's why I said it's literally how AEW works with their talent with women. They're just not good at it. And the reason